Welcome back for another book review. Today we are talking about this one. So this is A Year of Pagan Prayer, a source book of poems, hymns, and invocations from 4,000 years of pagan history by Barbara Nolan. So this book really truly is like poems and hymns. They are from all over the place. That's what this book is. There's sometimes a little bit of an introduction to whatever she's talking about, but mostly it is like poems, and a lot of it reads like hymns. And it is a decently big sized book, by the way. I gave this one a 3 out of 5 star. To be perfectly honest, this is just like not my thing. So when I come to a book looking for pagan prayer, I'm not necessarily looking for like this book. Like a lot of times we say prayer and like we don't necessarily mean it in like a Christian context, in like the book religion context, and this kind of was like, there really wasn't anything from like modern authors. It was really just like random bits, and the author does talk about it at the beginning that like there were points in history where they would like, people would write about the pagan gods, but it was more like poetic and not really like believing in them, and that really comes across very much, for me at least, in this book. And like really a lot of the writing in here just had a like very like hymn kind of vibe, and it's just not like, there's really good modern day pagan authors that are writing our versions of like hymns and poems and prayers and blessings and stuff to say that are very fitting for the modern pagans, where this just feels dated in like the weirdest way possible because it's old. It's anywhere from like, there's recent couple hundred years to very old, and not a whole lot of dates are known, and even authors aren't always known. Like there's just random bits, and then like more recent, and like everywhere in between. And so like if that is what you're into, you will like this book. If you like the more historical translated text kind of a thing, maybe a little bit more reconstructionist, this might be kind of helpful for you. If you really like to look at what our ancestors did semi-recently and very past, like this might give you some ideas. But like for me, I prefer our modern writing and our modern way to talk about the gods and work with them. And it's just not my thing. Like it's just not a writing style I particularly enjoyed. So like maybe you will, but to me it just, again, it came across very, and I think it's not really the author's problem, because like the author just kind of gathered these, so it's not really on them. It's just kind of like, it is what it is of context of like, it's just not something I thought it was. So needless to say, I'm not gonna buy this book. It wasn't my thing. Now there was 2 points with this book that I wanted to mention that have really very little to do with the book itself, but we're just like, okay, I have questions. So the first one started when I started the book, because again, I read every single page. Most people don't do that. I do that. I read every single page. About the author, I have so many questions, because first of all, it's different from inside of the book to the back of the book. I don't know what it means. So the back of the book says Barbara Nolan has been a practicing pagan since she was 9 years old. Okay, that's fine. Inside the book though, we have the author became a solitary pagan after reading the Old Testament at the age of 9. What? What did the Old Testament have to do with becoming pagan? How did, at 9? Too. That's like an oddly specific number. I don't know many children that are gonna figure that out. Like, I have a lot of questions. Why was that included? That's okay. Just, I need some context, just a little bit. Cause what? Why did the Old Testament make you pagan at 9? It was just so random, and then it didn't match to the back of the book. So, questions. The second point is one of those where it's like, as an author, it's a big discussion. And so like naturally it plays in my mind because I made sure of this. I considered it when I picked my pen names, right? So this author, and it is tagged her books all together, you know, under the same author name, whether that's her legal name or her pen name, don't really matter. But like under her name, she has got this book, and then a bunch of, I am going to assume, spicy romance books based off of the context of reading a couple of the descriptors, which Oh, that was it. Ooh. Not the way I have been taught to write that, and not my style of book at all. And so just think of the shirtless dude romance kind of a book. Those. There's just this random book, and I'm like, this is why pen names exist. Because, like, if I loved you for this book and I want to go get more of this content from you, and then I find all of that, like, that can be a huge turnoff to a lot of readers. Like, for me, nope. Like, that's not my thing. And because you only have the one title like this, it's just weird. Really weird. This is why authors have pen names. That's why I have two. I have a fiction one, so if you want fiction books, I could have done per genre. Some authors will do that. I felt like now, because I'm just gonna jump all over the place, so like just follow along for the chaos. And then a nonfiction title pen name thing, because I wanted all of those contained within themselves. And I don't even know if it's a pet peeve. If it feels like it's more of like a standard in like the profession as authors, especially in like publishers, like, you know, not even just self-published, but like, you got Llewellyn to sign off on this. And I think she has other publishers for the Shirtless Dude series of the whole god, those. So I don't understand. I have questions about why you didn't pick a different pen name. And like, I know it's a random thing, but like, again, even like Stephen King, he has a bunch of pen names you won't know because he doesn't disclose which ones they are. But a lot of really famous authors have multiple pen names. Even like J.D. Robb, multiple pen names. Like, there's a lot that have pen names. Why didn't you pick a different pen name? I need to know why for that, and why the Old Testament made you pagan at 9. I have questions. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it is patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.